So, Rosh Hashanah is almost here. I'm sure you're already ready for Rosh Hashanah. Probably already worked on all your bad trades and all the things that's stopping you from becoming the best that you can. I know I didn't. I'm not ready yet, which it's a thought that a little bit concerns me, or even a lot concerns me, because we had so many lessons already. We spoke about the month of Elul, and we spoke about the trade of cynicism, right? And opening our hearts, and we're talking about it so much, and still I feel that I'm not there, I'm not ready yet. And so I really hope that tonight, even though our lesson is about the forest and not about the trees in it, right? Because we're going to focus on the big picture, if we can call it so. As we will get the big picture, I hope that it will help us to refocus ourselves on our spiritual work, on our personal work, as we're moving forward. For me, it's a little bit too fast, but this is what it is, towards Rosh Hashanah. Also, we're talking about the month of Tishrei now, in the middle. It's not even the middle of Elul, right? Today it's the 10th day of Elul, which actually it's two of my best friends are born in this day. So after the lesson, they both live in the States now. So I'm going to call them tonight just to say Mazal Tov. And also in this month, we're going to have special lessons or dedicated to Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, Sukkot. We're going to talk in the beginning of October. Why? Because the moment we're going to get into Tishrei, into the month of holidays, we will not have the time. We need to get ready now. You don't start to prepare yourself to a marathon 2 days before. You prepare yourself in advance, and this is what we are trying to do. And hopefully tonight will help us to structure our path towards those amazing holidays. Overall, we're going to talk today also about the month of Tishrei, not only because it's the month of my birth, which it's very important, but it's not why we came here tonight. For example, in the Torah, we know we don't have names for the months. We have only numbers. Which number is the month of Tishrei?
7.
7. The 7th month. The 7th month. That's correct. Hold on. Tishrei is the 7th month, but we just said at the beginning of this month, it's the head of the year. It's Rosh Hashanah. How come? How you start a year if it's the middle of the year, right? Literally, the 7th month is the beginning of the second half of the year. It's a question we should ask, right? So we're going to talk about that. Because also, for example, we say that at the beginning of each month, it's Rosh Chodesh, the head of the month. If it's so, which month is the first month in the Torah? Nisan, right? Which is the beginning of spring, not autumn. And if so, why the head of the month of Tishrei? It's also the head of the year. These are questions. As we said already, right? That Rosh Hashanah, it's not the Jewish New Year. But anyway. What else is important to us to know about the month of Tishrei, even before we start to deal with the holidays? So, in the Talmud, there is a machloket. In the Talmud, there's a dispute between Rabbi Eliezer and Rabbi Yoshua. What the dispute is all about. The dispute is, and if we'll have time in the end of the lesson, we'll get deeper to it. When the world was created, Rabbi Eliezer, that says that Rosh Hashanah, the head of the year, is Tishrei, as we celebrate. It means that Adam and Eve were created in Tishrei. Because by Rabbi Eliezer, it means that the world was created in the 25th of Elul. 6 days after that, it's the new moon of Tishrei. It's Aleph Tishrei. It's the first day of Tishrei, which is, by the opinion of Rabbi Eliezer, the birthday of Adam and Eve, or humanity as we know it. Nobody says that nobody says that Adam and Eve are the first Homo sapiens. They are not. Nobody said it. Humanity as we know it, humanity with consciousness, humanity with connection to God, and so on. And if so, a birthday, it's an important thing, because as the Talmud in Yerushalmi says, Mazalo gover alav, the luck or the blessings of a person becoming stronger in the birthday. So even though in the Torah, the only one who celebrates birthday is Pharaoh, and therefore, for example, my rabbi and teacher, Rabbi Pinchas, he says always, I'm not celebrating my birthday because only Pharaoh do that. The Yerushalmi says it's an important day. So much important that when King David used to go to the war, the front of the warriors, the ones who had birthday. So their luck and their blessing going to protect all the rest. By the way, we say that the Rosh Hashanah is day of judgment, right? That we are standing in front of the court, of the heavenly court. But if so, how come we're calling Rosh Hashanah a holiday? Is it a day of celebration when you get judged? I'm sorry that so far I'm giving you only questions and no answers, but it's an important, it's important question, right? He says that it's like an exam. The moment you gave it, doesn't matter if you succeed or not. It's like a stone getting down from your chest, right? Okay, you're right. Rosh Hashanah, that's great. Let's celebrate it. It's a celebration. Adam and Eve, beautiful. As we see, it's not a Jewish thing. It's a all humanity thing. I'm going to talk about it as well. But why do we need 22 days of celebration, of holidays? Or in diaspora, it says it's actually 23 days. Because Rosh Hashanah and then Yom Kippur, and so it's all 10 days complete, right? Set. And then right after you have the celebration of Sukkot, which is 7 days. And then you have Shemini Atzeret, and then you have Simchat Torah. Why all of that? Why it's so intense? I said that, okay, well, 22 days. Where else? Who else is celebrating so much? So we said, yeah, we see with Achashverosh in Megillat Esther, we see that half a year of drinking wine and celebrating. Okay, but we have only 1 day like this in the year. The 22 days that we have now, it's Day of Judgment, and then we have a fast, and then we need to get out of our home. It's not it's not a celebration like we see in Megillat Esther. Already in Rosh Hashanah, yeah, we said that Rosh Hashanah, it's a holiday, it's a celebration, even though that it's a day of judgment, because it's the judgment before of God. And I don't need to believe, because I know that God is absolute good. And the only thing God can give me is mercy and love and all the best. Everything is already given to me. So if I'm lacking something, if I'm missing something, it's not because God didn't give it to me. It's because I'm not ready to receive it. I'm not able to receive it. For example, my youngest is 3.5. I will buy him a car and give him the key. I gave something, but does my kid is able to receive it? No. You understand? So God gives us everything. If we are missing something, it's because we are not ready to receive it. Therefore, Rosh Hashanah, or Day of Judgment, it's a day of rebooting ourselves, which is so important. This is why it's a happy day. This time I want to do it right. This time I want to be able to receive all the good and all the blessings that God intends to give. Make sense? Good. So this is also a holiday. Great. So this is Rosh Hashanah. And in Rosh Hashanah, we pray, we have the food, that it's not only a meal of the holiday as others, but also we have different types of food that symbolize different blessings. And actually, if you go to different synagogues or different communities, you can find different types of food. Well, most of them will have a head of a fish or a head of a lamb and an apple with honey and so on, but also different types of food, because in different languages, different names of food connected by all kind of science to blessings. So it's a nice thing. It's not halakha. It's a nice thing to do. We're going to do that as well. And one of the main instruments we have in Rosh Hashanah is the shofar, that we blow both days, unless the first day is in Shabbat. Both days of Rosh Hashanah, we use the shofar. And it's important to hear it twice. It's not the same thing. Each day is a different influence that we want to have with the shofar. But again, about Rosh Hashanah, we're going to have a separate lesson. So with Rosh Hashanah, we're getting a package till Yom Kippur, right? Because the 10 first days of the month of Tishrei, we call them the days of awe, the days of repentance, Yemei Teshuvah, Yamim Noraim, starting with the days of judgments of Rosh Hashanah, and ending with the day of forgiveness, which is Yom Kippur, right? In Yom Kippur, our main tool, it's already not shofar, even though in the end of Yom Kippur, we use the shofar, as we're getting out of Yom Kippur, one last time. But Yom Kippur, it's the fast, which is a spiritual fast. Right? Physical fast, you can fast from food, but you still drink water, right? Spiritual fast, we don't drink even water. And we have more different things that we practice. Not as other days of fast that we have that connected with destruction and connected with mourning. Yom Kippur, it's a celebration of life, of forgiveness. It's a different type of fast. It's about God forgiving us, basically signing up our reboot our system, reboot our life, reboot our everything, basically, about us. But there is a catch, because if we want it from God, we need to practice it first. This is also why the month of Elul is so important. Because we need to start with forgiving ourselves, forgiving others. We spoke so many times about the prayer Shema before we're going to sleep. One of the texts that most of us adding to that, I'm forgiving everyone who did me wrong, and there's a whole list that we should practice every day. And then, do I go and ask forgiveness from those who I did wrong to? And please do not do those massive email or WhatsApp. Forgive me if I did your. If you're sending those, don't send it to me, please. I don't like spam. Then you will need to come to me and ask forgiveness for the spam that you send me. You know you did something? Go to the person, ask for forgiveness, which is important, because if I don't practice myself, how I want it from God? Make sense? Again, God gave us everything. It's about us to receive it. So in order for me to be able to receive everything that God gave me, I need to become like God, right? As it says we just read it not a while ago, Uledov kavo. We need to infuse ourselves with God. How? By us practicing His attributes of mercy and so on, right? We spoke about it. Oh, but I don't know, maybe I did something wrong with you. Okay, so come in person and say, maybe if I did something wrong, please come to me, tell me about it. I want to know, I want to take responsibility, I want to be accountable for my actions. Doesn't it make sense? Then I will be ready for Yom Kippur. Right after Yom Kippur, 4 days after, we have Sukkot. So the celebration of Sukkot, and we building our sukkah, this kind of hack, right? How you would say it in English?
A shack.
A shack, yeah. So why we do that? And well, Sukkot basically it's about us getting out of Egypt and living in those shacks, right? So if it's so, it actually would make sense to celebrate Sukkot right after Pesach. Also, it's a better weather, especially in our area. In Israel, now it's a beautiful weather. But here it's rainy and it's cold. So why we do that? And then basically you should live in the sukkah. So therefore, if you have a house or if you have a balcony without anything above you, to build your own sukkah, and in the community you're going to have, if you cannot, better even to sleep and to eat and to do everything in the sukkah. If you're not able to do the maximum that you can, in the holiday of Sukkot. If you're a Chabadnik, so you don't sleep in the sukkah, but then you also don't drink water outside the sukkah. Each and every one with what he received from his ancestors. And in the end of Sukkot, we have Shemini Atzeret and Simchat Torah. In diaspora, it's 2 separate holidays in a way, or 2 days holiday. So in Israel, it's actually 1 day, because the main holiday is Shemini Atzeret, the 8th day of holiday, the day of gathering, which is the 8th day, which is not exactly Sukkot anymore, but because we're not in the shack and we don't use the 4 minim, the 4 types of vegetation that we use during Sukkot, which is very important, lulav, etrog, and so on, right? So in Sukkot itself, we do it for 7 days, besides the Shabbos inside the Sukkot. So basically only 6 days out of 7, we use the 4 species of vegetation. Women also can do that once a day. You not have to do it in the sukkah, you can do it also at home. For example, my wife do it every day also. My older son, which is above 6 years old, so he will do it also every day. He will have his own set and so on. And then we have the Shemini Atzeret, which in the diaspora we do Izkor, as well as in Yom Kippur we do Izkor, the prayer for those who left the world, and we're going to bless the winter to come. And then we have Simchat Torah, when we dance with the Torah, when we actually completing the reading of the Torah. We're going to read the last portion of the Torah and start all over, which is basically a V, right? It's the enter for the reboot that we started in Rosh Hashanah. So as we see, all those holidays are actually connected to each other, and we're going to go deeper into this idea that it's not separate holidays that by mistake came all together. It's a one huge important process. Therefore, we should already open now the schedule and make sure that we're coming to each and every day, because as a Rosh Hashanah, to hear the shofar one day doesn't mean that we need the other day, because each day we're receiving and influencing at different aspects. And then Yom Kippur, and then we have Sukkot, and then we have it's a very intense time, but it's unbelievable time. It's a time that can change our life, literally. Meaning, even it's not that it can; it is changing our life. The question I want I want the ability to influence this change, or this change will happen anyway, and whatever it is, it will be. And I don't want to take charge. I don't want to have an influence about this process. So we see also another idea is that our holidays are very unique, because when we do the kiddush, the blessing on the wine during the holidays, we always say zecher li'yetziat Mitzrayim, memory for Exodus. Meaning all the holidays connected to a historical point, nation-wise. Maybe besides Rosh Hashanah, even Rosh Hashanah we say zecher li'yetziat Mitzrayim, but Rosh Hashanah is also connected to Adam and Eve, historically, in that sense, if we take the version of Rabbi, the opinion of Rabbi Eliezer. And so, in that sense, the holidays are very national holidays, maybe besides Rosh Hashanah, right? Yom Kippur, we're getting the second tablets after Moses broke the first ones, and Sukkot, it's connected directly to getting out of Egypt, and then Simchat Torah, and then we have Pesach, which is also getting out of Egypt, and Yom Kippur, and Shavuot, also getting out of Egypt, right? Historical moments of receiving the Torah. But also each holiday has something spiritual, as we said. Rosh Hashanah is day of judgment, and Yom Kippur is day of forgiveness, and then Sukkot, it's all about our faith and trust in God, and happiness, which will be concluded in Simchat Torah, happiness of Torah. And Pesach, it's all about freedom, and so on, right? So each holiday have two aspects. You have the historical and the national aspect, and you have also the spiritual aspect of each holiday. Also, if you pay attention, we said that in Israel we have 22 days of holidays in Tishrei, but in diaspora it's 23, because some of the days, not only in Tishrei, but overall, we do 2 days in diaspora when we do 1 day in Israel. And there are different explanations. There is a beautiful explanation in the Kutnovsky-Liak about that, the energy or the blessing of the Holy Land of Israel is so important, is so powerful that you can do in 1 day such an elevation that outside of Israel you will need 2 days, right? There is Hasidic verbs that we're not going to go into it. Why we do that? Personally, I think it's it's a ticket for the nation of Israel that decide not to live in Israel. Okay, you think that not to live in Israel it's better and easier to have to get money. That's fine. But when it's a holiday, you will take 2 days without work and getting disconnected from the physical world, just to make sure. The only holiday that it's 2 days everywhere, it's Rosh Hashanah. It's called Yom HaArichta, 1 long day. You got tired. We just started. We just warming up. Okay. So Yaakov and his sons, daughter, great children, going down to Egypt. It says that Yerdu, that they moved to Egypt. It says that they got down to Egypt. And then the whole story of slavery. How long they've been in Egypt? 210 years. Out of it, how many years were of heavy slavery? 86 years. So as they go down in the Torah, it says Yardu Mitzrayma. Also, we see this word in the beginning of Bereshit, Urdu bidgat hayam uvof hashamayim, that humanity should control the earth, control the animals, the fish and the birds, and the slova Urdu, which is go down or control. It's also the numerical value 210. Resh 200, Dalet 4, Vav 6, Urdu 210, as the sons of Jacob and Jacob need to control the material world, which is what Egypt symbolizes. Matter, to control matter. If you will not control it, you will become slave of it, which what happened to the nation of Israel in Egypt. We also see that if we read the book of formation, the book of Yetzirah, that each month of the year has its own spiritual DNA. The spiritual DNA of this month, it's the letters Resh and Yud. Resh connected to Mercury, which is the planet of this month, and the letter Yud is connected to the sign of Virgo. Resh it's 200 again, 10 Yud it's 10. Again, the same 210 years, that the process that we went through in Egypt, that we needed to go through in order to become a nation, the month of Elul also can help us to go through in order to be reborn in Rosh Hashanah. So when we said that Rosh Hashanah it's a reboot, that then we're going to shape through Yom Kippur and then Sukkot and so on. We're going to get ready for it, and this is the month of Elul. So the month of Elul is also connected to the next 22 or 23 days of Tishrei. It's a package deal. Take it or leave it, right? Better take it. Good. The month of Tishrei, we said it's which month of the year? The 7th. Perfect. In Kabbalah, we spoke about already. The 7th Sphira is from the low 7 is Malchut, kingdom, or the physical world. In the month that's supposed to be the most materialistic, we do pause, no, rebooting ourselves, reconnecting to God, reconnecting to the potential that God wants to give us. And after the holidays end, in the end of the 7th month, the month of realization, then we're taking all this renewed blessing to start to manifest it throughout the year. This is why it's so important this month to Elul. Stop for a second. Ask yourself, what's the meaning of life? Why do I exist? Why am I here? Rabbi Nachman of Breslov, we see in his writings an idea, and I will give it in a short way. Many of us have those things that, I'm living for this or for that, or without this or that, it's not a life. It can be my wife, my husband, my kids, my parents, my business, my career, or a Pilates lesson. It doesn't matter. But without it, it's not my life. Meaning, if I will lose it, I will lose myself. It's not me anymore. I will not be able to be happy without it. When I have those moments, it means that I'm practicing idolatry. Even something spiritual and good, and even a mitzvah, can become an idol. Without that, I cannot live. The time now to reboot ourselves is to reconnect with God again. I'm here connecting with God. I'm here to do a tikkun or a correction to myself and part of all humanity. There's something bigger. I don't want to lose everything. I don't want to get to that moment that I need to lose everything and to test myself. No. My wife is important, my kids are important, my parents are important, my career is important, and maybe Pilates is also important. I don't know, I never tried. My boxing, it doesn't matter. But my happiness is not dependent on those things. My connection to God is not dependent on those things. Who am I is not about that. It's part of the reboot that I want to achieve with Elul and the holidays of Tishrei. Because then I will not need to lose, God forbid, Chaz v'Shalom, those things. The opposite, to strengthen Tishrei. Let's go back to the idea of this big picture that we call the month of Tishrei. It says, Semolo tachat leroshi, the left hand of God is under my head, v'yimino techabekin, and his right hand is hugging me. This is what going on during the month of Tishrei. It manifests itself in the month of Tishrei. Semolo tachat leroshi, the left hand of God is under our head. It's what's left. Left, it's judgment. Judgment, it's not bad. Judgment, it's a red light, which is very important, even though it blocks me. It creates limitations, right? It limits me, but it's important. It's not bad. Educating our kids, it's also judgment. Saying no, it's judgment, but it's a judgment that without it we cannot live. It's an important thing. This is the left hand of God. This is the Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. This is the left hand of God under my head. His right hand of God is holding me, is hugging me. carrying me. It's Sukkot, Shemini Atzeret, and Simchat Torah. This is, by the way, we said, Tichle Shana ve'kelilotea, let the previous year and its curses end, Achel Shana ve'birchotea, and let the new year and the blessings come. It says that from the previous year, I don't want anything. Not the bad, of course, but also even the good from the previous years, I do not want. Because starting on Rosh Hashanah, I start fresh completely. In the sense that every atom in my body should be new. Hold on, I'm with my wife already 10 years. Yes. But this year going to be the first year. Why? Because I'm supposed to be, if I do it right, I'll be completely new. She's going to be completely new. It's something else completely. And hopefully just good without bad. This is what I want to achieve. So from the previous, I don't want anything. This is why it's so important also to go through the month of Elul and looking into the past, doing an editing process to ourselves. In Rosh Hashanah, we die and reborn again. Our vessel that we carried, whatever we had during the last year, is getting destroyed, and we start to build a new vessel. And we're going to shape it during the first 10 days, starting from Rosh Hashanah till Yom Kippur. And then the 4 days between Yom Kippur and Sukkot, we're finalizing already the shape of it, the outside of it. And then Sukkot, we start to fulfill this new vessel with what? Happiness, certainty, success, abundance, love. And then in Simchat Torah, we're getting the final signature on it, and then we can start to bring it to manifestation. But we build during those days all the spiritual potential that finally we'll be able to bring it to realization if we're going to work on it and to continue to work on it. It's an unbelievable period of time. The less we're going to miss it, the more we'll be able to carry with us. There are 3 ways to get back to God. Chazara b'tshuva, getting back to God. So the first one is from love. It's what righteous people do. It's Rosh Hashanah. It can be enough. I love God so much that I'm getting back. How many of us can say that we love God? It's a question, right? But most of us are not there. So we can get back to God through awe, repentance, maybe even fear, which is already Yom Kippur, which is most people. But those of us that did big mistakes, those of us that are in some areas of our life, we can call ourselves reshaim, right? Wicked or far away from God. What do the souls that lost their ways for a while? The only way for them to get back to God it's through happiness. And this is the whole day of Sukkot. This is why we're getting out of the house, to make sure that everybody knows that there is a back door that's always open. You always can come back. And therefore I will be happy because I know it. There's always a way back to come back. So I hope that we got the bigger picture of unbelievable month of Elul and even more unbelievable month of Tishrei. And after we have this big picture, we have the forest, we'll be able to go and see the trees. We're going to the details. We'll have a holiday, we'll have a lesson about each and every holiday and its details. Of course, one class, it's not enough. But we need to start somewhere. I really recommend, we have so many books to read from, so many lessons to hear. Not even if not here, in YouTube and so on. You can come later and ask. I can recommend different materials as well to get ready. We're getting ready for a new year, for a new life, not a new year. This is why Rosh Hashanah is not a Jewish New Year. It's a new life, literally, new life. We wanted to read some more, but it's already late. Again, one lesson in 2 languages take longer than what I... But maybe we'll do extra lesson just to read what I want to read with you about the machloket between Rabbi Eliezer and Rabbi Yoshua in another time. But if you have any questions, please. All is clear. All is clear. Все понятно, да? Good. תודה רבה.